If you had to choose, be an optimist. But what you want to become is an optimizer. An optimizer is looking to optimize every situation, every scenario, direct all their energy in any situation to their goal. You're optimizing the circumstance. You see, an optimist would be, hey man, I'm just happy to be talking to a potential client. Optimizer is looking at it as, hey, I'm happy to be talking to a potential client, but how do I close the deal? Difference. One is passive, one is active. Optimizer, how can I get the most out of this case for my client? Optimist, hey man, I got a client with a good case. So it's a subtle distinction between optimist, observance, optimizer, action-oriented. So I challenge you, this is a trained way to perceive situations, a trained way to, in your mind, a mental exercise to train yourself to look at scenarios in any given circumstance. It could be on a second-by-second basis. What can I do to optimize the outcome of whatever circumstance you find yourself in? Yo, what's up, everybody? This is the End-to-End Podcast, and I'm your host, Dr. Yun Win, affectionately called Ninja, Prolific Ninja by my family and friends, and because my fans are my friends, you can call me Ninja too. This is the End-to-End Podcast, the Alpha to the Omega, the beginning to the end, talking about life, motivation, drive, success, self-improvement, and offering you morsels in this all-you-can-eat buffet called life. Back in the studio, man, it has been a hell of a whirlwind July already. Crazy hurricane, travel, computer blackouts, president assassination attempt. I mean, the world, is it collapsing? I don't know, but I'm glad to be back in the studio, glad to be bringing you some more content. If you're new to the show, or if you know the show, before I get into the depths of the meat of the show, I like to start off with an expression of gratitude, just like I start off my day. So every day, every morning when I wake up, when my eyes open up and I get my awareness, the first thing I do is give thanks to God, the universe, for another day, another opportunity to be inspirational and to make an impact on somebody's life. And with that, I want to thank you, my fans, and supporters and friends that have helped in supporting and sharing and following and liking, most importantly, sharing the show. If you're new to the show, I do this on my own dime, on my own time, no specific sponsorships other than the law firm and what I do there that supports this show and my other companies. But this show doesn't grow without you all. And so in order for it to grow, you need to share the show. And so we do this on a value proposition, meaning if you find value in this episode or any other episode for yourself, a family member, or a friend, think they might want to know some information I share here, please do share the show. That is how we grow. I like to say, if your knowledge swole, share the show. That's how we grow. And with that, just thinking about all this turmoil and things going on in the world, maintaining a positive mind, a positive attitude, and being an optimist, right? It led me to the idea of what I actually am. And let me give you this analogy to kind of illustrate what we're talking about. We've all heard the parable or the example of a half full glass and how people perceive a half full glass. So if a glass is half full, people would say pessimists look at it as half empty. Right? Like glass is half empty. Optimists would look at this as a glass half full, flask, whatever. Half full, right? And that, by definition, would define optimists or pessimists, okay? My suggestion is that you throw that all out the window, okay? You definitely don't want to be a pessimist because that brings negative energy, negative vibes, a negative outlook on everything. What am I missing? Right? That's a bad way to perceive the world. Avoid those kind of people. Avoid pessimists. Avoid people that are always looking at ways to bring up the negative in every situation. Those people wear your energy out. They pull energy away from you, right? Pull momentum away. They always look at what is wrong versus what is right. Okay, so you definitely want to put that out the window. Throw that away. Don't be a pessimist. Don't bring negativity. Don't look at things negatively. Don't hang around people that look at things negatively. Don't hang around people that bring that negative outlook, people that are always looking for what is wrong in the situation. Contrastingly, like I said, there's the glass half full. and those are optimists. Okay, they will look at it in terms of positively. They would find the positive aspects of things, right? You want those people around. That's fine. They bring positive energy. They bring good momentum. They bring ideas to the table, right? They bring an outlook on the silver lining. Things might be bad, but look at what's good. Great to be around. Okay. If you wanted to model yourself after one of those two scenarios, I would say, of course, be the optimist. Find the positive ideas, the positive characteristics, the positive situational aspects of any environment in order to bring the positive energy and bring the positive ideas to the table. Okay, so between the two, be the optimist. But I would suggest to you, you actually should become the third option, which is more than an optimist. It should be become an optimizer. Okay, there's a difference between optimist and optimizer. The optimist sees the positive things in what is, which is great. This is the present scenario. These are the positive things. Okay, that's an optimist. An optimizer is this is the scenario. These are the positive things. But what am I going to do in this situation to make it the most optimal situation I can make it? So you see, there's a difference. An optimist is passive. An optimizer is active. Okay? Definitely don't want to be a pessimist. If you had to choose, be an optimist. But what you want to become is an optimizer. An optimizer is looking to optimize every situation, every scenario, direct all their energy in any situation to their goal. You're optimizing the circumstance. So an optimizer in this scenario, when you see a glass half full versus half empty, an optimizer would be looking at this as, how do I fill up the rest of the glass? Now, let me say that again. Glass is half full. A pessimist looks at it as half empty. An optimist looks at it as half full. An optimizer would say, okay, here's the glass. How do I fill it back up? You see, an optimizer is looking for solutions. An optimizer is trying to bring action. An optimizer is trying to bring a plan of execution to make the most of the situation. Not observe the best in a situation, it's to make the most of a situation, right? It's a trained habit. It's something I do in every instance of the day. How do I optimize the time? How do I optimize the situation? What do I say to optimize the outcome of any conversation for me, for my goals, what I want to achieve? Shoot, when I'm driving in traffic, it's how do I optimize my route to get to where I need to go faster to save me time? As I'm driving, I'm looking at all the lanes, the flow of traffic, the positioning of the cars. What is the optimal route to get me ahead faster? Because I need to get to a goal quicker, which is my destination, right? As I'm calling up clients, prospective clients, right? What do I need to say in this conversation to optimize the outcome, which is get the client, close the deal? You see, an optimist would be, hey, man, I'm just happy to be talking to a potential client. Optimizer is looking at it as, hey, I'm happy to be talking to a potential client, but how do I close the deal? Difference. One is passive, one is active. Okay? One is passive, one is active. Optimizer, how can I get the most out of this case for my client? Optimist, hey, man, I got a client with a good case. One is observing, one is action. In your case, how are you optimizing your situation? You want to go get another job. What are you doing to optimize your scenario? Let's say you're already in a whatever, 60K job. Hey, man, an optimist would be like, hey, I'm thankful, grateful, which is wonderful to have this 60K job, but you're shooting for a 100K job. Well, how are you optimizing that other 40% to get to where you want to go? What are you doing to optimize, not optimist, optimize that situation? Right? You're living in a, I don't know, $500,000 house. You want to move into $1 million mansion, whatever. What are you doing to optimize it? Right? The glass half empty is, damn, I wish I could be in $1 million house. Pessimist. Optimist is, hey, this is cool. I'm in a $500,000 house. Optimizer is, man, this is cool. I'm in a $500,000 house, but how do I optimize my efforts to get into that $1 million house? Whatever it is. So it's a subtle distinction between optimist, observance, optimizer, action oriented. So I challenge you, this is a trained way to perceive situations, a trained way to, in your mind, a mental exercise to train yourself to look at scenarios as to, in any given circumstance, it could be on a second by second basis. What can I do to optimize the outcome of whatever circumstance you find yourself in? You see, there's a subtle distinction, and this goes into success, right? Success means preparation meets opportunity. That's success. But in that opportunity, there's two ways to look at it, right? An optimist would say, I'm just glad I had this opportunity. Okay, glad to have this opportunity. Yeah, that's good. Be grateful for sure. An optimizer would be, hey, I'm grateful for this opportunity. Now, how do I maximize the opportunity to get the outcome I want? See, one is a settlement, settling. Glad to have this opportunity. Let's see what happens. An optimizer's approach is actively inserting your goals and desires in the opportunity to get the outcome that you want. Hey, glad to have this opportunity, but I'm going to go kill it. That's optimizing the opportunity. So what gives you to a higher level of success? What gives you a higher probability of achieving success? Passively being grateful, which is a great thing, optimist, or being an optimizer where you're grateful, but now recognizing you have the opportunity, you go all in effort to optimize the outcome. Okay? A very, very subtle distinction between optimist and optimizer that I have seen propel people to success. The ones that succeed at the highest levels, they optimize every opportunity. How do I put in the energy, effort, approach, whatever it is, to get the maximum outcome of this particular circumstance? Because it's not good enough to just have the opportunity. You've got to optimize that opportunity. Become an optimizer, not just an optimist. Okay? So, very subtle distinction. Obviously, we talked about the pessimist, glass half full. Forget those people. Don't be one of those. Optimist, if you had to choose, do that. At least be grateful, thankful for what you have. Optimizer is grateful, thankful for what you have, but pushing yourself to the best outcome in that situation. Okay? Be an optimizer. Start looking at your environment, your opportunities, your time, your effort. How do I maximize every single situation to my advantage, to my goals? Then you become trained to look at things to be optimizing your opportunities. And if you consistently do that, let's say hypothetically, each time you optimize a scenario, you gain 1%. Well, when you compound that 1% over time, you have no option but to be successful and achieve your goals, because you are constantly in the mindset of optimizing the scenario for your desired outcome. Okay? It's not good enough to just accept and be thankful for where you are. Of course, do that, but optimize your options and your actions to get the best out of each situation. Okay? This comes up only because I've seen situations where the opportunity has come, people don't optimize it, and the opportunity goes. Opportunities don't come very often. So when they come, you have to optimize the scenario. Don't be optimistic. Optimize, action-oriented. Okay? Most people, hey, I'm grateful for this opportunity, but that doesn't mean you've succeeded yet. And when you convince your mind that you're just grateful to be here, that's all you're going to get is the opportunity. Success is on the other side of it. So you got to optimize to bridge the gap to success. And I've seen people where their mind shuts off because they're just grateful to be there, grateful to have a seat at the table, but they don't get to eat. You got to eat. You got to optimize in order to eat. Okay. Quick episode. It's going whirlwind. Although I do say we don't have any sponsorships, this PFAS cancer awareness campaign is kicking off. We are getting phone calls left and right. So if you want to support the show beyond sharing it, go to pfasinjuryattorney.com. If you know anybody with cancer, go to that website, send them to that website, have them sign up. We're literally getting hundreds of calls on a weekly basis from people that have been affected by cancer or people that know somebody that's been affected by cancer. If you're unaware, PFAS is the forever chemical, and that's been used by manufacturers. It's been poured into our rivers and waterways, and so we're actually ingesting, bathing in PFAS. And PFAS has been shown to be linked to causing several cancers. So if you want to know more, go to pfasinjuryattorney.com, or go to X at PFAS lawyer, at PFAS lawyer, to learn more about this and our efforts to raise community awareness around PFAS exposure in our water to cancer. And so we're looking to get settlements and dollars for people that have been affected by cancer. So if you know anybody, please do send them to that website, send them to that social media channel, because doing that will also help support the show, even though we have no sponsors. So shameless plug, going after PFAS water contamination causing cancer. So with that, glad to bring you another episode. I'm going to end the episode as I end my day before my head hits the pillow and my eyes close. I always thank God and the universe for another day, another opportunity to hopefully have inspired somebody to be the best and to achieve their highest controllable potential as possible. And so with that, I want to thank you all for listening, following, liking, subscribing, sharing the show. If you're knowledge swole, share the show. That is how we grow. And with that, I want to say thank you. Be great today, but be even more grateful. Looking forward to bringing you another episode very, very soon.